my mind automatically flocks to realism when I do portraits, so I'm still stuck in that mindset.
I think I'm in trouble for the first time.
To try to completely change that, I mean, I hate to say it, but I might have just found my weak spot.
Or I was all, really pumped for portrait day, and I don't know what happened.
That brings us to this week's elimination tattoo. Japanese.
Japanese, god damn it.
In Japanese style, there's an even distributional weight throughout the piece. If it's off, it can really make somebody's body look awkward.
Let's meet your canvases.
Think about a koi transform into a dragon.
Canvases, one by one, please reveal the name on the bottom of your skull.
Tattoo baby.
Steve.
I get the muscle guy. He wants a koi dragon, which I am not a big fan of. This could be a really up tattoo.
What are you doing?
Making a koi dragon. A koi dragon literally looks like the body of a koi fish and the head of a dragon.
Kind of looks like a seahorse a little bit.
You wanted more of a dragon than a koi, right? I'm kind of handcuffed a little bit. The judges are two traditional tattoo artists. Most koi dragons are 90% fish with a dragon head, but my client didn't really want to go old school. I understand what they said, but you want a longer tail, I'll give you a longer tail. You're the customer, man. I like it. I really do.
This week, we asked you to create a Japanese tattoo. We were testing balance. Steve.
Nothing balances out here. The big water swoosh through the middle, it looks like a sheet draped across there. In between the tail, where there's just open skin and then water splashing up one side that doesn't connect, you lost the effect.
The scales should have been bigger. They should expand with the curves of the koi to enhance the transformation of koi into dragon.
The one fin, why not two at least? Put the other one up behind the head.
Tried it, didn't look right.
Bro, this don't look right.
It's probably the first dragon koi ever done. Not really my thing.
Well, what the is anybody here for if they'd come to compete and only do one style tattooing?
No, don't even say that. It's not how I feel.
Well, that's how I feel, because when you don't feel like tattooing, you just don't. You
That's
cruise.
not how it is.
It's kind of like in the beginning, everybody was giving Jesse a rash because Jesse was only doing big-eyed, big-teeth things. But now we're kind of seeing that he does different styles. You have to be able to adapt, because if you don't, then expect to get out of this competition.
Today, you must all tattoo the same subject, a Japanese snake.
Damn it.
Snakes are one of the most symbolic creatures in traditional Japanese tattooing.
Traditional Japanese is really hard because it has a whole lot of rules in it, and if you don't know them, you can't follow them, and the one guy who's gonna judge you is Taki, and he's gonna nail the out of you.
Let's meet your canvases.
It's more important than ever, this late in the game, to start aiming at the strongest artists. In my mind, that's Scott.
I want a colored snake on my right rib.
Do you have your other ribs done?
Nope.
Do you have any other tattoos?
I have little tattoos.
Rib pieces are extremely painful.
Here.
And if you only have a couple of little teeny tiny tattoos,
Nervous?
A little.
then you have no idea what you're in store for.
For you? I know I'm giving Scott one of the most difficult canvases he's probably ever worked with.
There you go.
I hope that this is the one that knocks Scott on his ass.
Scott.
I know Halo is gunning for me. It's karma. I guess it's my turn to rise to the challenge. Bring it. I will still do a good job.
I want to start like under my boob and end like here.
I would recommend, being that you've never had like a really big session, to do a tattoo probably about this big.
My only concern is I want something sexy. I want the shape to be in harmony with my body.
My canvas has only sat through little tiny bangers on real easy places. She will not sit through a big Japanese tattoo. It is not gonna happen. Do you know what you got yourself into? The ribs are tough. He definitely threw you at me because he thought that you would tap out.
But you don't want to have something that has to do with my body.
I have worked way too hard throughout this whole competition to go home because of this stubborn canvas.
What if the head is biting my boob?
If I don't get my canvas on board with me, I am screwed. We've already agreed that this is gonna be the flow of the piece.
Not this right. I don't want it too confusing.
My canvas is being so difficult. You gotta trust me.
I'm just confused of how this snake is turning.
Leave it up to me. I do not need to right now.
It's not natural, it's
still not trusting me.
It's awesome to watch Scott squirm.
Just leave it. Let me do this.
The idea that he gets a taste of what he's been able to dish out, how can it not bring a smile to your face?
You have to listen to me. I'm at the top in this competition. There's a reason for it. You have to trust me.
I know, but what you like is not what I like.
No, but I know what you like. And if you don't let me do that, then you're gonna be upset and you have a bad tattoo, and you're only gonna be beating yourself in the ass for restricting me and twisting my arm and making it do it your way, you know?
Sure.
If you get dizzy, or if you're feeling like cold sweats or you're feeling nauseous or something like that, then we'll pump the brakes a little bit. I am really worried that my canvas is gonna tap out.
But you know, if I'm in pain, I'll take a break.
You don't wanna take a break, because when you come back, it'll hurt 10 times more.
I'm gonna take one break, couple of breaks.
You don't wanna take a couple breaks. Once you break once or twice, you're tapping out. I'm stressing the out right now. You got your job to do and I got my job to do. Now it's just up to me to execute that, and it's up to you to sit through it.
2 more hours. 2 more hours.
Definitely gonna need a cigarette.
No. Every time you take a break, it slows down and you come back and you can't take the pain then, trust me. My canvas is having a really hard time and she's making it vocal. I need your confidence high, you know what I mean? We do it. I'm doing whatever it takes to make sure that I put a good tattoo in front of those judges today. I just don't want to let you go, and then I gotta drag you back in here by your hair. Don't think I won't for 100 grand. If I have to physically hold my canvas down to make sure she doesn't leave, I'm going to do just that. Can't move in the middle of the line like that, okay?
Sorry. Oh, deal.
3, 2, 1. That is it. Machine's down. Time is up. No more ink.
Did it!
Yeah, you did it. Good job.
This doesn't look like a tattoo that Scott would do. It's ugly. It feels good to know that I'm the first person to knock Scott Marshall off his throne.
Today, you had to show your mastery of proportion by tattooing a Japanese snake on your canvas's ribs. Scott.
All right, Scott, very, very surprised to see this tattoo come out of you. When you look at this thing from across the room, compared to the other tattoos, this is the one that's hard to tell what's going on. I don't like the layout. I don't like the way it sits on her body. The way you decided to make this background swoop echo the shape of that snake makes it hard to tell what's going on. And as far as hitting Japanese, you totally lost it.
I did get a little new school with it, but when I'm freehand drawing, I can't help it. My style's gonna come out in my drawing.
One of the things about Japanese tattooing is it's not necessarily always about you. It's part of a larger history, a larger culture. So walking in and being like, I'm doing it my way, it's insulting, it's utterly incorrect.
She was a tough canvas, man.
Her being a tough canvas aside, your drawing's your drawing. If she's a tough canvas, it's gonna show even more in your application, which it doesn't. It's just odd. It's an odd drawing, man.
I'm not making excuses. You know, I'm gonna stand behind this piece.
It's definitely my least favorite today. And it's applied meticulously, which makes it tough, man. It's a crazy thing, this competition.
Today, you must all tattoo the same subject on the same body part. You must tattoo a skull on your canvas's head.
I know from firsthand experience, getting your head tattooed is no fun.
It's crazy, dude.
I just hope these canvases are prepared to go through some pain.
Proper placement on a skull is so difficult because it's like tattooing on a bowl. There's curves this way, there are curves that way.
You guys should go bigger with this. So look it on the back of my head.
And it takes away the whole back of your head.
Yeah. In the back of my mind, I know something's off about this design. I can't pinpoint it. I don't know why for the life of me, but it's making me crazy.
It would look funny if it wrapped too much on the top of his head. Like, it's got to be just a straight-on headshot back there, don't you think?
Jason's all frazzled on his crappy design, and guess what? It's gonna look like crap no matter what, and that's not my problem.
Okay, dude. Let's tattoo, man.
I'm really feeling the pressure of this competition. I am not ready to go home. I don't give a If I'm going downward spiral, I'm gonna go right back the up and I'm gonna win.
Forgive me if I don't talk too much, dude. I'm trying to win.
I'm gonna prove to everyone that Jason Clay Dunn is here to battle. I can do this.
How's that, bro?
It's a walk in the park, man.
3, 2, 1. That's it. Time's up. Machine's down. No more tattooing.
Almost not ready for it. Oh, that's intense.
I don't know what Jason's thinking with this tattoo, but it looks like The placement is really weird. The drawing is lacking. Jason needs to put his big boy pants on and really step up his game if he wants to stay in this competition.
Today, you had to tattoo a perfectly placed skull on your canvas's head. Jason.
It definitely doesn't look like a skull. It kind of looks like a latex mask.
Okay, I can see that because a lot of these old skulls, they had like skin, they were like mummified.
This has to be clear. You have to make this stuff readable. You have a lot of areas in this where you just need it to go a lot lighter. The forehead's more deep set than the eyes and the nose, and this tattoo from a distance is hard to read.
There is no tattoo that requires more precision than a portrait.
Portraits have showed their ugly face in the building. Oh. If you don't use precision and put things where they're supposed to be, it's not gonna look like that person.
To tattoo an accurate portrait, you must capture the subject's likeness by precisely placing every single drop of ink. A facial feature, even a millimeter out of place, could change the appearance of your portrait entirely.
I don't really do portraits because one little slip up, man, and you're gonna make your tattoo look like Sloth from the Goonies, and that's the last thing I wanna do.
That's what stoked me out on it, man, is all the little crazy medals and stuff, you know what I mean?
Give me a chance to get fancy.
I purposely picked this photo because you can't really see the face. My strategy is to make this jacket and this helmet look so on point that it's undeniably a good tattoo, and they can only pick apart the face so much because the face isn't even there.
3, 2, 1. That's it. Time is up. Machine's down. No more ink.
Holy crap, that's sick.
All the little detail on the medals, it's like, holy Christ.
Kruzman's tattoo turned out exactly like we thought it would. It's busted. His face looks like it's melting down his neck. It's not fixable. That portrait will never look right. Kruzman, pack your bags.
Today, you had to give canvases and their loved ones a way to stay together even when military service keeps them apart by tattooing a portrait. Kruzman, start with you. Speaking about precision specifically, there are really great examples of that in the uniform itself. I love what you did with the name tag and the little elements on the jacket, those fine details.
That's why I picked this one. There was the least amount of face to do, and I am not a portrait tattooer, so I figured that that was my only hope of holding on.
It looks like some of the shading in the face got away from you, especially that line in the nose.
This is the trouble part. The shading you put in the nose takes the nose in the wrong direction. It looks like the nose is going this way, and the face is going that way. His chin going into his neck, you needed to up the definition of that a little bit to show which one of these crease lines is his actual face and which one is the neck.
You see what you did inside the jacket with the tie and that reflection of the shirt? You were confident because it wasn't a face.
I totally was.
If you're not confident in a face, don't treat it like a face. Just treat it as shapes and go in with the same confidence that you go in the jacket area, because you can do it. There are examples of the precision that's necessary to hit those things.
It's painstakingly obvious that portraits are not your thing.
Today, you must tattoo a portrait of an animal.
I'm not a portrait guy. Animal portraits require a lot of texture, a lot of tips, a lot of tricks, a lot of bells and whistles to make it look like the fur was on purpose. If you don't have the constant experience under your belt to do a portrait, it's never gonna look good. I don't care how good of a tattooer you are.
Let's meet your canvases.
You want color or black and gray? Color?
Oh, you know how hard that's gonna be to do? You have all the spots, have to do little bitty whiskers that come off this thing. That's a hard one for sure.
The lion, the leopard, and the gorilla. Any three of those can put Tony out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Tony.
Anything with fur, you have to use certain techniques that I've just never really tried before. I'm screwed. Have you ever had the back of your thigh done?
I have.
All right, so you're thinking like right here?
Yeah.
Are you opposed to the front?
I don't really like the look of two thigh pieces, just it's not my look.
This is the one day I can't afford to slip up. I'm doing something I don't do. I'm gonna probably take this tattoo to the wire. That means a full 6. My only concern is I don't want you tapping out or you hurt and be the reason I go home.
Yeah.
Because I'm so freaking close.
Of course.
I literally have no idea how to pull this off. Like, you can already pack my bags, I'm going home.
They're judging off of that photo, you know, so just try and do everything you can to keep as much as you can, you know.
Okay.
I'm not known as a photorealism guy, but I do it. So I gotta do everything I can to try and coach my guys to get to the end.
3 hours remain. 3
I'm doing a tattoo that I've never done before and I don't know how to do, so I'm learning as I go. The bottom will hurt a little bit more. I want to come out of this competition a stronger tattooer with a stronger mindset. I have it in me, I just gotta find it and pull it out.
You all right?
I'm hanging in.
You do some little intervals. Keep her in the chair and noodle away.
She's flopping around like a fish out of water. It's not efficient when you have to take a break every 10 minutes. This is top 5. I'm so close, but this is the one challenge that could send me packing.
Today, you had to be precise and tattoo an animal portrait. Tony.
At first glance, you capture what the animal is, but for precision in your tattoo, you're missing this jowl, that heavy muscle, so that that thing would be able to grab a crocodile by the head and pull it up the riverbank. The other thing is, I am not a fan of the white whiskers with nothing backing them. That's a crazy play. But it's tough to not recognize a cat with spots on it for what it is. So in that way, I think you got a blessing and a curse. There's an upside to this and a downside.
It's gonna be a tough day, man. Today, you must tattoo traditional illustrative portraits.
Ooh. My life.
What? I love doing portraits, but what is a traditional illustrative portrait?
We're gonna find out.
I mean, I would just think that the word illustrative alone really loosens up what we're looking for, yeah?
Either it looks like them or it doesn't, and if it doesn't, you lose, and if it does, you're in a great shape.
This is gonna be interesting.
Let's meet your canvases.
I would like to get a colored portrait of my daughter on my shoulder blade.
Oh, portraits of little kids. That is really hard. Their features are so soft. Definitely the hardest one up there.
Ooh, I just got nauseous.
Canvases. One by one, please read the artist's name on the bottom of your skull.
Oh, I'm nervous. Little girl.
Laura.
You know what I get to do? Because doing babies and little kids is really, really hard. Only do that all the time. I know. I think you're gonna get it.
She's such a cutie. My canvas wants a portrait of her daughter on her shoulder blade. I'm just making sure it's like super, super clean. I've been excited for portrait day since day one. I'm gonna make it look great, just, you know, because it's your daughter. The kid portrait is a difficult ask, but I think the full body one was probably more difficult. And I'm really surprised that Pon gave that to himself. I don't think mine's traditional enough. We'll make it. How do I do that? There's so many factors that come into play specifically with child portraits that you cannot do. You can't put harsh lines on the eyes or anything, or else the child can either look like it's wearing makeup or that they're older than they really are. Dude, everyone's doing different stuff. I don't get it.
They want what Jason's doing.
How am I supposed to do that with a little kid?
That was the whole point.
Oh, okay. So that's the curveball you guys were throwing me.
Yeah.
My mind automatically flocks to realism when I do portraits, so I'm still stuck in that mindset. I think I'm in trouble for the first time. To try to completely change that, I mean, I hate to say it, but I might have just found my weak spot. Or I was all, you know, really pumped for portrait day, and I don't know what happened.
Today, you had to tattoo a traditional illustrative portrait. Laura.
It is a nice, well-applied tattoo, but it's hard for me to say that this really looks like this girl. The expression on the face, you're not really getting that little tight grin, and her neck looks really wild. The way you have the back of her shoulder and her neck going all the way up to the ear makes her neck enormous.
That sucks.
The other thing that I really dislike, these black lines you put on her forehead that aren't connected, that are just random black lines there. I know that you're trying to show the suggestive loose hairs, but it's very strange play.